Imagine this. You wake up for a second, you don't move because something feels wrong. The air is cold, too cold. Your body feels weightless. You try open your eyes, but it doesn't matter because there's nothing to see. Just darkness. Not shadows, not night, nothing. You lift your hand, slowly. You wave it in front of your face. You can't see it at all. And then you feel it. Water. Cold, thick, pressing against your skin. You inhale sharply and realize you're not supposed to be breathing here. You're not on land. You're not even near the surface. You're at the bottom of the ocean. And somehow you're still alive. His name was Harrison Okene. And this is the story of a man who survived 3 days trapped inside a shipwreck 30 meters below the surface in complete darkness. A few hours earlier, Harrison was just doing his job. Nothing special, nothing dramatic. He was the cook on a tugboat off the coast of Nigeria. The kind of job where days blur together. Same meals, same routines, same sounds. The hum of engines, the gentle movement of the sea. He'd done this before, dozens of times, maybe even hundreds. And that's the thing about moments like this. They never feel important until they are. It started with a shift, subtle, barely noticeable, the kind of movement you ignore. But then, it didn't stop. The floor tilted, plates slid, something crashed in the distance. And then, the entire ship lurched violently to one side. Harrison grabbed onto the wall, but it wasn't enough. The angle got steeper, and then steeper, until standing wasn't possible anymore. Everything around him started to move. Fast, uncontrolled, metal groaning, water rushing in somewhere. Loud, aggressive, relentless. And then the world flipped. 1 second, he was upright. The next, he was thrown. Hard. His shoulder slammed into metal. His head hit something sharp. Water exploded into the room. Cold. Violent. Filling everything. He tried to stand, but there was no up anymore. Just chaos. Just force. Just noise. And then, darkness. When he came to, he didn't move. At first, because his brain couldn't understand what was happening. His chest was rising, falling. He was breathing. But how? He reached out, slowly, and his fingers touched water, right in front of his face. He froze, then moved again, water. Everywhere. Except, not completely, somewhere. Somehow, by pure chance, Harrison had landed in a small pocket of air. Space that hadn't filled. Yet. He tilted his head back and felt something strange. Air. Just enough to breathe. But when he shifted slightly, water touched his lips. That's how small it was. That's how close he was. Close he was to drowning. And then it hit him. Slowly, like a weight dropping into his chest. The ship had sank. Completely. He wasn't near the surface. Wasn't waiting for help on deck. He was inside it, trapped. 30 meters underwater. In the pitch dark. Alone. At first, there was noise. Metal settling. Water dripping. But eventually, even that stopped. And what replaced it was worse. Silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. The kind that makes your own breathing sound too loud. Too heavy. Too real. He tried to stay still. Because every movement mattered. Every inch. Every inch could be the difference between air and water. And then there was something else. He wasn't alone in the ship. Not really. The others, well, they hadn't made it. He didn't see them at first. He felt them. Something brushed against his arm. Soft, unmoving. He pulled back quietly and quickly, heart racing. Then again, another touch, this time on his leg. He reached out, hesitantly, his fingers wrapped around something. A hand. Cold, still, not alive. He let go instantly, pulled himself back into the air pocket, trying not to think, trying not to imagine what was surrounding him. Because panic wouldn't help. He knew that. So he forced himself to just think a little. Slowly, carefully, he searched the space around him, feeling along surfaces, edges, and even floating objects. And then, his hand found something small. Plastic. A bottle. A Coca-Cola bottle. Half full. He held it tightly. He held it so tightly like it mattered. Because it did. He took a small sip. Just enough to wet his throat. Then stopped. He needed it to last. And he wasn't sure for how long. Hopefully, as long as possible. Time didn't pass normally anymore. There was no light. No sunrise. No sunset. Just darkness. And breathing. And waiting. His body grew cold. His muscles stiff. Every moment, every movement slower, more deliberate. His thoughts started looping. Over. And over. And over again. This can't be happening. I'm going to die here. No one is coming. At some point, hope fades. Not all at once, but piece by piece. You stop expecting rescue. You stop imagining survival. And instead, you start preparing. You start preparing for the end. Harrison later said he began to pray. Over and over, not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, under his breath. Because when everything else is gone, that's all you have left. And then, something changed. A sound. Faint. Distant. Different. He held his breath. He listened. There it was again. Tapping. Scraping. Not the ship. Not the ocean. Something moving. Something moving deliberate. He leaned forward slightly, careful not to slip, and waited. And then, for the first time in days, he saw something. A glow. A very faint glow, but flickering. Cutting through the darkness. Cutting through the darkness with a light. Moving. Getting closer. His heart started to pound. Faster. Louder. Because this wasn't imagination. This was real. The diver moved slowly through the wreck, expecting silence, expecting bodies, nothing more. And then, out of the darkness, Harrison reached out. His hand, breaking into the beam of light, moving, alive. The diver froze, pulled back instinctively, as you can imagine, because what he was seeing should not exist. Not here. Not after 3 days. They didn't rush. They couldn't. Every movement had to be controlled, measured, and so precise. They secured him. They guided him slowly, very slowly out of the wreck, out of the darkness, out of the place. He should never have survived. Of the 12 men on board on that ship, Harrison was the only one who lived. The only one. 3 days, 30 meters underwater, in complete darkness, with almost nothing except a tiny, small pocket of air, and the decision to just keep breathing. Somewhere at the bottom of the ocean, that ship is still there, silent, broken, empty, except for one thing: the story. The story of a man who refused to give up, even when everything around him basically said he should. So if this story stayed with you, if it made you feel something, then please subscribe. Hit the like button, share it, because there are more stories like this. More stories worth knowing. Thank you.